Hey everyone, I'm here with Caswell, and he's our VP Products and Strategy.
There we go.
That's it, right? In the Sabu business unit, right?
Exactly. Perfect.
So, Lee, I already announced you a little bit in the pre-call on this.
Very good.
But I want to talk to you. I actually want to ask you one question.
Fair enough.
Easy, right?
Yeah.
2 minutes. About the history of Visa.
Sure.
Which you have seen as a history.
Yeah.
Where we come from.
Right.
And basically also made a little bit high level where we're going.
Yes.
I think you are the best person to tell us that. So would be great if we are if we can tell the viewers that.
Yeah, you bet. Well, I started my career in DAS-based servers.
I've seen it on LinkedIn this morning. So
and I was always so impressed with just the use flexibility, right? And as technology came into servers, right, you just got to see what we could do, particularly the x86 from Unix transition, right? Yeah. And we're going to see some parallels between what vCN is doing with storage. So, and then when VMware announced ESXi, we basically stripped all that storage in the servers out into a separate storage box. And the beauty of that was now we could free up servers to become virtual, right?
That's it.
And the management of that server, right, became virtual instead of physical. Now, the downside of that was that we separated the storage from the app owner.
Yeah. So
right?
we created a silo.
Yeah, so you had to kind of cross the bridge, right, almost, right? Crossing over to find out, hey, what are you going to deliver? I need this performance or capacity, right? Yeah. And so, with the advent of flash technology and low latency interconnects, higher performance CPUs, what we found was we could rehydrate those servers, right? And get the scale economies of something where the number of servers sold a day, right? 42,000. Versus the number of SAN sold a week, right? About 1,000. I mean, you just got this amazing economic scale of new technologies coming first. And so now what we're seeing is, just like x86, creeped up into mission critical workloads over time, right? Yeah. We're seeing the same thing happen on vSAN and HCI relative to traditional storage systems.
Perfect. Now, that's awesome. That is basically the evolution until now. What I also see is, from a performance point of view, we are now able to bring everything together because everything that Intel does or AMD, doesn't matter, they just advertise 30% extra performance. So
if you love hardware, HCI is the best place to be. I mean, we have 50,000 server developers working for us for free, dropping off new hardware. And what's interesting for me is when you think about both from a career standpoint and from a customer career standpoint. The software that we're developing that runs on standard servers, these are the servers that are running on premises, of course, but also in the public cloud.
That's it.
And so if you want to be relevant, if you want to have an architecture that extends into the public cloud and then back to the edge, you need to have something that's running on the high volume server platform. And so what we're offering is what we're calling the digital foundation. Right? That digital foundation then extends all the way from the edge to the core to the cloud, independent of, in fact, incidental to where you run it. I can run it on a server as a ready node. I could run it in an appliance as a VxRail. I could run it in the cloud through IBM or VMC. And then independent of, agnostic to the applications as well. Right? So we're this foundation where you can say, hey, if I'm running a traditional virtualized application, awesome. I'm running a next generation cloud native app, even better, right? So I basically have this awesome opportunity to leverage the investment on the full stack.
Correct.
Wherever I run it, whatever I'm running on it.
Doesn't really matter anymore, right? That's it. Hey, and what about vSAN, or maybe in general more broader storage or data management in a future perspective? What are you seeing the trends coming towards us?
Yeah, we've talked traditionally about basically a control plane, right, and a data path. Right, and those management, and that's one of the things we uniquely give you across the hybrid cloud, right? We're the only HCI offering that runs natively in the public cloud, and that means we're actually giving you control over it's not just the data path, or not just the control path, but it's the data path also. Increasingly, we're going to see a level of AI ops, basically, right? Of basically making that infrastructure alive and active as a way that it's working for you, right? So you can stop looking down at the infrastructure and start looking up at the business.
That's the ultimate outcome, right?
Exactly.
This morning I've seen a presentation where the constant battle between IT and business.
Yes.
So if you could start to look up and see what's coming.
Exactly.
That not in the trenches, but see what's coming. That's the best way forward.
And that's why this new architecture of bringing the storage back in close to the applications so powerful, right? Because now I've got app owners setting policies, right, that are tied to CPU, RAM, capacity, IOPS, security policies, cloud, right?
Yeah.
I've got all of that from a common management voice, and that allows you to move with speed.
And that is very strong as a position that we as VMware are in, right?
Well, it's critical. If you think, right, for a moment, not you personally, right, but if anyone in IT thinks that they're not going to be like on their heels responding to the cloud, I suggest this. Think back to when Gmail introduced the 1 gigabyte mailbox. You remember that?
Wow, yeah.
Right? Everybody does.
It was a beta program back in the day.
The reason they remember this is because that's the day that the cloud operational model became the IT standard.
Correct.
Every IT manager had to respond and say, listen, if I can do this in the cloud, how come I can't do it on-prem where I'm paying you?
Correct.
Right? And that's what's happening now. The speed of deployment in the cloud is what's captured everyone's attention.
Yep.
To respond to that, to deliver that kind of speed, HCI is the answer.
Perfect. Haley, I want to thank you. Hopefully we have a lot of viewers on your small vlog here. So thank you, Lee, for the time.
Great.
Great to have you on the vlog.
It's such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Have a good day.